Okay, teachers, let's talk. Have you ever felt like you're speaking a completely different language than your students when you hand out a writing prompt? Well, today, we're going to look at a super simple but really powerful technique called the do what method. It's all about getting everyone on the same page finally. You know the feeling, right? You've spent all this time crafting what you think is the perfect prompt. It's crystal clear. And then the essays you get back are, let's say, creative, but they're not quite what you asked for. Sound familiar? What if there was a simple fix for this all-too common headache? Well, that solution has a name. Do what? And the best part is, it's not about you having to rewrite all your prompts. Nope. It's about giving your students a tool, a repeatable process they can use for literally any writing assignment that comes their way. So what is it exactly? At its heart, do what is a pre-writing strategy. It forces students to just pause for a second and break down any prompt into two basic parts. What action do I need to do? And what is the topic I'm writing about? That's it. Simple, right? This little strategy works wonders for students from about 4th grade all the way up. Just imagine your classroom for a second, a place where students don't have to guess what's required. Instead, they have a system to make sure they hit every single point on the rubric every single time. So, how does this actually work in practice? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and deconstruct the prompt. This is a simple process you can seriously teach in just one class period. Here we go, the 5 core steps. First, they've got to read the prompt carefully. Then, they turn into little detectives, hunting for the do words. Those are the verbs. Next, they pinpoint the what, the subject. Step 4 is all about the fine print, those extra details. And, this is so important, Step 5 empowers them to ask for help if anything is still a little fuzzy. Think of it this way, the do is the verb. It's the tool they have to use. The what is the noun. That's the material they're working with. Just having them separate these two things on paper can bring so much clarity to their thinking. It's a game changer. You'll want to teach your students to hunt for these specific do words. Words like explain, compare, analyze. They aren't just suggestions, they're direct instructions. Each one signals a totally different kind of thinking and writing. Nailing the right one is the first big key to a great essay. But, finding the do and the what is really only part of the puzzle. The very next step is what separates a pretty good response from a fantastic one. And honestly, it's where students often lose those easy points. And this is it. Step 4 is all about sweating the small stuff. Are they writing for their classmates or for an expert? Is it single-spaced? Is there a word count? Teaching them to scan for these specifics right from the get-go prevents all those frustrating last-minute formatting fires. All right, theory is great and all, but let's see how this thing actually looks in action. We're going to take a pretty common type of prompt and just apply the do what method directly to it. Okay, here's our prompt, explain how climate change impacts local ecosystems. Seems straightforward enough, but let's break it down just to be sure. See how cleanly this breaks down? The do word is right there, explain. The what is climate change's impact on local ecosystems. And the implied detail here? Well, the response needs to be an informative explanation, not just a random list of facts. It's really that simple. So why bother bringing this into your classroom? Let's talk about the payoff. Let's look at the impact and see how this little strategy builds not just better writers, but more confident students too. And the impact is absolutely real. As you can see, when students get the hang of this strategy, their focus and clarity just skyrocket. But look at the other side of that coin. Their anxiety plummets. That scary blank page is suddenly not so scary anymore. And this isn't just about one assignment. This simple routine builds skills that last a lifetime. You're going to see less off-topic writing, you'll see their success rates climb, and you'll see them become better critical readers. They're not just writing anymore, they're actually creating a plan before they even start. And this all comes full circle to that crucial final step, asking for help. We really want to build a classroom culture where this idea is just second nature, that it's way better to ask a question now than to submit the wrong thing later. It's a sign of a strategic thinker, not a weak one. Here's the bottom line. The real power here is turning this from a one-time trick into a consistent habit. When students start using this for every single assignment, you're not just improving one essay, you're fundamentally shifting their entire mindset from being reactive and confused to being strategic and confident. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. As you start planning your upcoming lessons, what's the very first writing assignment where you can introduce your students to this incredibly powerful yet simple tool?